GAD ELBAZ, Melech'ha, SHEM DONIERO, hidden keywords. You wanted I to say some things. You needed I to express some things. We have been through so much. We have been through so much situations, and I seem like dreaming in a very once monologue idea of the thing, of the situation, and seems like this will be the journey with no way back. Somehow we are so distantly with the reality of you have done an enormous work and you have done an enormous reality, and I am proud of that. Clearing for the realities of mine, I am still with the same class of circumstances all around. It's supposedly that I desire still to match permanently for the whole of the punishments, for the whole of the requestments, where Liaison office still requests us and asks us, and everything is covered all around here and put it like non-true. The clear of this soul as well is exactly like, it's not that easy, it's not that simple. I need to get where I belong to, where I belong with. The reality is, the journey is getting far and far from the whole which this is happening still. I will ever take wherever the real of the choices as understanding the right thing to be done, or the best ever to reach, for the making exactly the simplicity to live and coming where I gotta be. I may found a very face of stranger. I may found a face of non-welcome. I may found a face of not true. I may found a face of you need to know that the fantasy of the world, of the fantasies, is nothing to be around the truth. And maybe I found the whole of the reality in the understanding that the so progressive damages that every day happens around here are really like the summatory of the whole of the destructions that I have been through. I am saying that I know you are true. I know we have been through something, and that is not exactly equitatively a very symposium for what I will be the supposed demon with the needing of medications. The reality of this delivers into certain state of conscience as well, that is hitting every day at the reality of the temperatures that I am coming through. I need to leave and I need to get some place where they embrace to be the reality and the real for this be exactly what we know. Adonenu, Elchai, Eloheinu, Avinu, said, and Adonenu Mashiachcha, Elachachai. If you want, I'll let you know, I am devastatedly going through these whole horrors that are non-stop for this moment. And in the middle of this all, I am needing for this to be finished and this to be at the clear normal that we understand normal to be. At the clear fact of this, if something had been sent, keeps on stealing and making a fraud here, keeps on making the same to me. I am wasting time, and I am in a very character of the destruction. I know you know what just happened to me, and I know you understand what I am through. It's not nice, and it's a very clear, dedicated element because of this family doesn't get no point about nothing. But I will be a very fragile, have a problem to solve about the taking medications. All over this and all over the right of the understanding this whole situations through. If I am not wrong, you have been sending with Liaison office petitions for the justice called of this country, whoever to be found, to put out of my way the hospital, the clear of this soul which keeps on making the same class of things for whatever I do, and certain evangelicals that pretends to take in the land of Israel, which are not all, and whoever to say no, to be like an enemy of the enemy. So in the middle of this reality, the same class of circumstances still happens, and I am so thankful to you. I am so thank you for everything you have been doing, and also about recognizing Adonenu and recognizing the reality of mine. I am so thankful for everything you have been affording every day. I am so thankful for everything you tried, and I am so with a very sense of loss and a very sense of enormous darkness, like I know you are too, and I'm sorry for the whole of the situations that still happened all around, and still with this we don't have no much choices but making what we do. The impotence is not the feeling and the feeling is devastating. You know, I wanted to do and I wanted to reach. I thought Liaison office, the first instant for the whole. Liaison office will be for the case of the human rights, referring about my person, and as still I am considered by Liaison office with the whole of the devastating, overwhelming reality for the TMelech, the whole class. And this considered overwhelming, non-possible criteria that is the Viola Bárbaro Argentino still is doing, and to putting still at my DNA, my idea of Argentina EA, as if I would be some acquisition for they to determinate and doing whatever they want. Where Renaper and where elections chamber. You know, there is this class of circumstances that I cannot really tolerate, and I won't. And this has cost a lot coming around to my person and costs me way too heavily much. This is not about you. And I am so thankful for everything you have been doing and you still do. The clear fact of these days have been surrounding me in every way that I never imagined. And the reality for this soul is exactly, I meant each word. And I mean it. But the situation is like, I am vet at serach hada matzvas shailat seratika matzveserach anacham Ainain la tzeret sheatzi batika detektaka chachala sheam saeni Lia desmas sheam atlares seresvot besechama. And suddenly it is very rude reality, and I cannot let it go. But not like I can't. The problem is always the same. I tell you one thing. I have been TMelech in a very order of destruction. I have no idea how much or how long will any of this will ever just change. But one thing I know, I need to get to home. And I need to be at home. The situation is that everything has changed all around, and I am destroyed in a way that is not really so much easy to find out the way to simply do what I normally would. Tell you one thing. If I will never get to home. The reality of this will ever be a chaos and a very enormous loss. This keeps on trying to take in the state of Israel and it's not right. And this is supposedly my mistake or my state of mind, or playing the deliverers and conspiring against the government of Argentina with the government of Israel. The reality of this soul will be delivered into keeps on making the same class of the things, and Donald Trump maybe won't be helpful in the reference of states parties. Maybe does. The problems still are all around, and all as justice parties still keeps on working, but we are not talking so long like we used to. And the reality for this is exactly problem, for the reason of we are very off of the communication, and I am very destroyed and with an enormous chaos around this new situation that this family caused. The cause of this as well were because of I couldn't, with a very high stress, handling my anger, so my mother were with a very state of torture, and she couldn't do nothing better. The problem is that the opening for this were exactly premeditated by the ones that caused me that stress, and still does. And there is no lie whenever I tell you that I have a lot of bodies of Lucifer all around this land, making the compound of the journey of the hell with no doubt as the radical of the reality itself, to causing to me whatever elemental disasters.
Si ibas a entrar otra vez con esto, lo ibas a llamar a que se lleve la computadora, hijo. No empecé por esto o por la encarnación. No empecemos de vuelta otra vez.
At the point for this, and at the point for what this is all around, is exactly the simplicity of what this woman causes as well, and makes with it. The simple fact of the disasters, and the disasters themselves, while this all is the criteria of a woman that is upset for this whole situations, delivers into these bodies that manipulates in a way that is really difficult to see another class of things. If I gotta tell you something, it's exactly the difference of the whole of the what this just came. Instead taking it natural, takes it like there is a problem and the problem gotta be ripped out at the none other but what the concern and the quality of the worrying to be with this. There is exactly like every day and every time to simply being the problematic accent for what this is and what this causes. And this woman doesn't understand that. The same this family. I'm gonna send you this, and I'm gonna give you a recall for what you wanted and what you expected to reach. https://www.dbdededt.edc middle. Y si no lo entienden, lo van a entender de las formas de que nosotros consideramos y mostremos que somos nosotros los que decimos y decidimos qué es lo que se hace y qué es lo que no. Porque de ahora en adelante se va a hacer y a decir, porque nosotros demostramos al mundo ser superiores y supremos, y acá no puede haber ningún santo de Dios. Middle, DRDMT, DMF, FDAC, Daplat 438888988 the commands. Middle, sys middle IDECB, .9D F7, F3, F5. Systems recall with the last of the tools works. Today is November 11, 2016, and is nearing 1800 here in Buenos Aires, here in Buenos Aires. And the reality itself is that this has no end until it seems like or Adonenu establishes and puts order at the drastically and ending this clear fact over and over ever after, or simply, I don't know. I don't want to anguish you no more. And you see what this woman still has inside, with what she dared to say. Send you this for this day, and I hope everything to be just simple, like Adonenu to making, and this to deliver into what Adonenu says this got to be. I love you so much, and I bless you there. And I'm found myself placed in front of Adonenu, the same in front of you.